It's the Wrestling Caucus. I'm Peter A.
I'm Smiley Ariaga.
And today we're going to talk about Royal Rumble. And a lot happened. It was a very long show.
Well, actually, towards the end, it started to kind of feel like it, but I don't know. At first, it didn't really feel like it that much. I don't know. I don't know how you felt. I know you were a little tired towards the end.
I was exhausted.
Yeah.
It was too long. It was about 4 hours and change.
It was 4 hours.
Yeah. So that being said, let's talk about some of the production elements of the show before we get into the Royal Rumble winners and some of the non-Rumble matches. Now, the runtime, we were just talking about it. It went past the 4-hour mark. How do you feel about that?
I think it was for silly reasons, and there are definitely some things that I don't know. I feel like maybe this was the year to only have 2 matches on the card, and that be the 2 Rumbles.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. But when you're running large scale arenas that have 60 some odd thousand people in there, just 2 1-hour matches probably is not enough. I'm okay with what they did here. Only 4 matches, 2 Rumble matches, 2 non-Rumble matches. But this show shouldn't have went past 4 hours. It shouldn't. It should be at the most 3. But it did feel long. It did feel like it dragged a little bit, but it wasn't like AEW level where you're just exhausted by 10 o'clock and you have, you're 8 matches into a 16-match card.
Yeah,
It
it's
wasn't
many
that.
different kinds of exhaustion going into that. Like this, I didn't feel like I was very tired. I was like, the things did take a while, but yeah, it wasn't like I thought it was like 3 hours. I didn't think it was 4.
Yep, 4.5, 4 and change.
Jeez.
So the length of the show, was a problem for me, but what the major problem was what happened in between the matches, right? There was so much commercials. There was a lot of video packages, and WWE just felt to mention anyone that was there. Anyone. We had to know that O'Shea Jackson Jr. was there. We had to know that Steve Amell was there. We had to know that Rob Van Dam was there. And we had a little video package to go along with each wrestler that was there. We had to know Mickie James was there, and we had to see a little bit of some clips from her past matches. It was just too much stuff in between the matches.
Yeah, like I mean, I feel like maybe I don't mind them showing like wrestlers in the crowd. Like I don't mind that. Like oh shit, like Mickie James, yeah, great. I love Mickie James, but I could have done with less commercials, for sure. That's one of the things I liked about Raw and Netflix is that instead of commercials, in place of that, they put informational videos about or short promo packages for what you're about to see, or maybe a few that you might have missed in case this is your first week watching. But the excessive ads and video packages did get grating. It's like, okay, Jesus, like 3 in a row.
I think with WWE's problem, it's like a person who can't let silence be. They always have to fill the space with silence. WWE is that.
Loud noises.
They can't just let's have matches. No, they have to fill it with stuff.
They can't just have wrestling. You see, that's what you were talking. You asked about like the look of Royal Rumble. For the past 5 years, I've been loving the look of Royal Rumble. It's just the ring and the crowd. And the thing is, due to a lack of Titantron, why put all these video packages? Shouldn't the focus be on the ring?
Well, the crowd that's the crowd that's there, they're looking at the big screen.
Yeah,
there's a big cube that's, So, but yeah, it's just too much going on. Like I felt exhausted in between the women's Rumble match and the tag team title match. I'm like, I don't know how long it's been. It's just I was just like, let's keep going. It's too much.
Yeah, that tag title match should have been. If there is any match to put on a pre-show of some kind, or just like on TV. They could have left out the tag title match. They could have left out the tag title. Now that I think about it, they really could have left that out. I think I actually felt that way when the match was going on. I'm like, this didn't need to be on the card.
No, I thought the match, that match being on the card was fine. I don't know for sure, but I bet they got their time cut because there was so
Mm.
much stuff in between the match. Like they only ran like what 14, 15 minutes. And if you're gonna do a 2 out of 3 falls match, you need at least 20 minutes to me. Because I felt like in this match, none of the pinfalls really mattered because I feel like they were just kind of rushing to just to get it over with. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it didn't feel like an eventful 2 out of 3 falls match.
No.
I kept forgetting it was a 2 out of 3 falls match. I was like, "Oh," every time there was a pinfall, I'm like, "Oh, the match is over." And I'm like, "Oh, wait. Oh, that's right, it's 2 out of 3 falls."
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was just it felt like it was just something I would see on SmackDown or at a house
No, it
show.
wasn't a bad match at all. I'm
Yeah.
saying it should have, like, the reason why I say it should have been like a pre-show match or just left off the card. It just I didn't really feel anything from it. Like,
Yeah, right.
you did some cool stuff, but like, I forgot about yeah, like I don't know. Maybe it should have been just been on TV.
What did you think of the finish?
What the hell is the finish again? Like, oh, they got screwed again? Is that it?
Yeah, yeah, the Street
Oh, wait, the
Profits.
street. Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah, the other black tag team turned heel too, right? Because you needed all these, like, because Woods and Kofi weren't enough.
right.
Ugh, like that. Yeah, you had to remind me of that finish. I could like, oh, that's why I forgot about it. I was so mad. I remember last
It was
night.
a
I was
bit
so angry.
bogus. I thought it was bogus because so the Street Profits, they cost Machine Guns the match, right? But after that, they ended up jumping DIY as well. I just thought it was just a little overthought. You know, just have a because it's a 2 out of 3 falls match. So you're putting us through the ringer, right? It's almost like this is supposed to be a blow off, but now there's a sort of screwy finish, and I felt like my time was wasted. I would have just had one of the two win, either Machine Guns or DIY, and then the Street Profits beat up whoever the winner was to say, "Hey, I'm next." That would have been so easy and simple, but no. Now we're gonna get probably more DIY and Machine Guns and Street Profits mixing it up. I don't know. To me, honestly, I hope this probably leads to a three-way ladder match at WrestleMania. That would be cool to see.
I mean that would be nice. But after tonight's ladder match, they should maybe cool it on that for a while. Tonight's ladder match was scary.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah,
But
but like no, but
yeah,
like no, I agree. Like I would like on paper, yeah, I think this would be good for the Street Profits and the Machine Guns and DIY. But I just it was unnecessary to turn the Street Profits heel too.
yeah, because the crowd doesn't want to boo them. They have fun party music. They come out with cups, and the crowd always, you know, they always react positively to them. They always want to have a good time, and they're dancing along, and they're the perfect babyface tag team. And when they're heel, like when they were with Lashley, the crowd didn't know what to do with them. They were
Yeah, it
just
was
kind of silent.
weird.
Yeah, and they
Like I
changed
don't
the
want to boo
music.
Montez Ford.
Yeah, he does really cool. He's super athletic, and when he does that frog splash, and he's in, he's on Mars. He's
Yeah.
so high up. The crowd goes crazy. But I don't know, man. WWE with the Street Profits, it's almost like they don't know what to do with them when it's clear what you should do. Just listen to the crowd.
Oh, if only we had a what is it? A tag division. Just have them compete for the tag titles. Like, in fact, you know something? Like, okay, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa are the heels, right?
Yeah.
What if after the match, Gargano and Ciampa attack them, and then the Street Profits save them? Like, that would have made way more sense. I don't know. I'm not a booker.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's talk about the undisputed WWE title ladder match. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens. This went about 25 minutes. Do you think that was too long?
It felt long because, like, like it was good, but it was just like I think maybe it should have been like 1 or 2 spots shorter because, like, everything they did in this match was like, okay, I'm glad that they made a ladder match violent. And at the end, it was everyone was like, "Holy Christ, Jesus!" But maybe the Alabama Slam thing, maybe that should have been the only crazy thing because like they did that superplex onto the ladder that looked like it broke Kevin Owens's neck, and also when they had Kevin Owens land on the edge of the ladder, like, gee, yo, dude, like, it's like you had like so many finish worthy spots in this match that had you go, okay, that's the end, right? And there was more. Like, I was like, okay, all right, this is, and I think I heard Cody sustain injuries last night, so it was like,
That's not surprising.
yeah, like, was it worth it? Like, I don't know. I mean, look, it wasn't a bad match. I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad they made it, a ladder match violent that made everyone kind of like, okay, wow, this is dangerous. But maybe they went a little too far. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this program needed to have a violent match, right? But I don't think it needed to be a ladder match. I think it could have been you could have told the same story with a last man standing match. And I know watching this match and watching like Kevin Owens ladder war stuff from Ring of Honor, this is nothing compared to that stuff. You know, those matches had just concussion city. But I will say there was a little bit of unnecessary violence in this match. I felt like there was too much setting up for the next spot, and
Yeah, it looked like, oh,
yeah,
let me get this thing, but also like while the other person has to look like a jackass and be like, okay, oh, like God, it hurts so much. I can't help but just watch you set up the next death trap. Like,
like the spot where KO powerbombed Cody off the ladder into another ladder. It looked like he killed him.
oh
You
my,
didn't
yeah.
need that. You didn't need it.
Yeah, like it's like especially you didn't need that, especially if you were gonna do the Alabama Slam thing. Like
Exactly.
okay, that should have been like what like one of the only like crazy things. Like I don't know, like but then again, you're right. Like you've seen way more dangerous ladder matches than I have. Like I didn't watch all the ROH ladder war stuff. I watched like one of them, and then that was pretty nuts. But like Jesus, dude, like I don't know, like it just made me worry for them. Which on one hand, it's a good thing because like it adds to the danger element, but maybe I don't know. It's like Jesus. I just hope they're all right.
Yeah, there was some good stuff. Like the crowd brawling was good. I wish they didn't really climb the ladder much, and Cody taking the rung off the bottom. It was kind of unnecessary. I didn't really need to see that. I thought the Alabama Slam from the announce table onto the ladder looked great, and I think KO sold it brilliantly. But again,
He
I do agree
lawn
with you.
darted him. He darted him into the floor. His head, like, duh, like his head was like in the ladder. That's what he
Yeah,
did.
I think that should have been the only crazy spot of the whole match. And then,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. It feels like I don't. The more I think about it, on one hand, it does. I'm listening to myself. I feel like I sound like I'm like criticizing them for doing a really good job with selling because I always complain that no one sells, and the selling in this match was outstanding.
yeah, it was. I just feel like this match, while it wasn't bad, it wasn't the greatest because the big problem with ladder matches today in wrestling is there's almost no psychology. Like the story of the ladder match is you climbing up, and then as the match goes on, you're so fatigued you can barely climb. So when you eventually find the strength to climb up the ladder and grab the belts, it means so much more. But you don't see that a lot these days.
Yo, we were so annoyed at that last night. Every like thing, like, oh, like Cody would shoot Kevin Owens, and then be like, you know what? Instead of climbing the ladder, I'm gonna get another weapon because I don't like you. But like, you're a moron.
Yeah.
Like your title is up there, and he's dead. He's already dead.
Yeah,
Go up there.
it's like wrestling is almost booked like anime. Like in Dragon Ball Z, there'll be a huge, Kamehameha wave, and Vegeta's obliterated, and he just flies back up, and then it
Wait
just
a minute.
continues.
Yo, you just reminded me. I can't believe I'm thinking about this now on Wrestling Podcast. You remember that thing in like the Cell Saga where Gohan hit Cell with a super Kamehameha wave and literally blew his arms off and legs off, and then Goku was telling him, "Gohan, finish him, finish him." Like, and then Gohan's like, I'm going to make him suffer for a little bit. Everyone was like, "Oh Jesus!" It just led to
Yeah,
problems.
exactly.
That's what
Exactly.
last night was.
All right, let's talk about the Rumble matches now. Starting with the women's Rumble. Charlotte returned and she won. What did you think of Charlotte winning this?
Honestly, I just hope she has a better promo now. That's all I ask. That's all really I can ask of Charlotte, and is that she always had amazing matches, always had great matches. Please just cut an inch. Like in the press conference, she came off cool, like fine, but it's just like I don't know. I think that's like the one thing I'm missing from her is like that edge to her character.
Yeah,
But
talking's never been her strong suit,
no,
but compared to some of the other ladies she was with on the rise, from NXT, Becky's always been great. She was better than the Bellas when I think about the 2015 period.
I mean I don't know if she was better than AJ Lee. AJ Lee was a pretty good promo.
No, she was great. Yeah. Like
Yeah, but
outside of her, she and she got better fast. She improved so quickly, and I've always liked that about Charlotte. And again, she's always been a good athlete, but I think she's a lot better in the ring than she was, years past. But her winning, I don't have a problem with it. Um, because she's a big star and she always delivers for the most part on a big main event level. So, but I'm not mad at it. If it was like 4 or 5 years ago, I'd be like, "Oh, this again." But
yeah, exactly.
I think in a sense, like, Bianca's established, Bailey's established. There's so many Rhea's established. There's so many people that are already established that her winning doesn't really bother me. They're not putting their eggs in one basket. But I will say they made it a little too easy for her to win this.
Yeah, it was like there wasn't much as soon as she came in, she just cleaned house and like just
Yep.
yeah. And honestly, she came in and she might as well have just pointed at everybody and everyone just fly out of the ring on their own. Like
She
that's how it
tossed
kind of
out
felt like.
Roxanne Perez too easily.
Yeah, that's her NXT Women's Champion. I guess that's what they think about the NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah. No, isn't
And
Julia
I like her.
isn't Julia the NXT Women's
Oh
Champion?
yeah, that's right. She murdered Roxanne Perez last pay-per-view. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
But I think if Charlotte's gonna win, I think she should have had like a nice back and forth with either Bailey or
Or
an
Julia.
NXT. No, well, Rhea's the champion. I'm saying in the
Oh.
Rumble, in the Rumble.
Oh, in the
Like the
Rumble.
last two, the last three should have been her, Bailey, and like an NXT woman on the rise that they're trying to push.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
there
didn't
should have
like
been a
how they
little bit
did
of a
Julia.
struggle. What?
I didn't like how they did Julia at all.
Yeah, they treated her like she was nothing.
Yeah. Like if she had one like if like the way Cody went one on one with Gunther the first time he won the Rumble, I believe, that was amazing. It made Gunther look like the man. Especially he was in the match for over an hour.
Yep.
Like Julia should have been the one cleaning house before Charlotte came in there, and it should have been between those two.
Yeah. Are you okay with Charlotte and Rhea part 3? If she does choose Rhea Ripley?
Uh if the story's right, fine. I mean, the last time they wrestled was immaculate. Uh, I'm probably gonna lean more towards Rhea Ripley, but yeah, if Charlotte the way they brought Charlotte back, I know she's just gonna kind of get everything, which is fine. Whatever. She's not like like she's not my favorite character, but like yeah, I mean she's a great wrestler, great worker.
Yeah, I just think, and we'll talk about it later today, but when you think about, especially on the women's side of things, what's the biggest match they could possibly do right now on the women's side? Charlotte and Rhea, right? That's the
Yeah,
only thing I can think of right now that's like, this is marquee.
unless Asuka comes back and use Charlotte and Asuka again. This time Asuka actually freaking
Sure.
I don't know wins.
Yeah, they could do that, but she's hurt and she's probably not clear right now, but eventually they could do that. Maybe one of the nights at SummerSlam if she comes back. But right now, the biggest match I can think of is Charlotte and Rhea. So why not run that back? I was there 2 years ago in Hollywood for their amazing match. So why not do it again?
Is I don't want to see her beat Tiffany because Tiffany just like
Right.
I don't know. That would kind of seem unfair. Like I would also like to see Charlotte and Bianca Belair again.
Yeah.
That would be great,
Yeah.
honestly. Or if Jade Cargill comes back, if they do Charlotte and Jade Cargill, that would be interesting to say the
It
least.
would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Don't know if it would be good, but it would be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
ooh, yeah, it'd definitely be interesting though.
All right, let's talk about the men. Men's Rumble. What do you make of Seth attacking Roman after Punk eliminates them both, and then Punk getting eliminated himself,
He
and
killed
brawling with
him.
Punk? Yeah, what do you think about all that?
I mean, honestly, I only had one issue with that. The fact that another jackass YouTuber was the one that eliminated Punk. And he also eliminated AJ. Like,
Yeah,
and it's not the cut. It's obvious I don't care for Logan Paul, and I don't care how many moves he can do. Like, it's kind of like a slap in the face to have like some him like eliminate AJ and Punk because it's like it's not even. I don't think that's the kind of heat they want. Like, people legitimately don't fuck with him.
it's not gonna generate heat.
No.
No, because here's the thing with Logan Paul. I don't want to spend too much time on him, but I'm just gonna say this: he is insignificant to their big picture. Clearly, because he came out at he was 29 or 30. He was 30. Ellie and I was number 29.
Yeah.
It meant nothing. It meant nothing to the end result. He wasn't the final two. It meant nothing. They didn't really set up anything really with him going forward. Logan Paul's a guy that has some sort of he has an audience outside of WWE. So WWE's mentality is they'll bring, those people in, maybe. He has his drink. And he's gonna be here for a Rumble. He'll be here maybe for WrestleMania, maybe for SummerSlam, maybe for the Saudi shows, and that's about it. He is not going to be figured into any long term plans, nor should he, in my opinion,
Well,
because
the
there's so
thing
many
is,
other
like,
people. Yeah,
if that's the case, what the hell was the point of him eliminating CM Punk and AJ Styles? What
yeah.
the
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I think they should treat him like Hogan because I think people were treating him like Hogan. The crowd was booing him like 'cause they're both in the same camp. They're both assholes. I don't know. It's just I just don't want to see him. I don't want to pay. I don't want to even pay to boo him. I don't want to pay to see him at all.
Yeah, just continue to do that, like I am. I'm not going to react to anything he does. Like I don't care. Um, yeah, it doesn't matter with him. He's insignificant.
Yeah, but like other than him, yeah, everything between Punk, Seth, and Roman and like was immaculate. Was like they were like Roman was like yelling at Punk like you screwed us. We don't even teaming up for a month, and Seth destroyed him with that curb stop, and like they were all fighting. Like I would love a triple threat between those three, or at least like maybe put them on in the chamber.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think it's just leading up to the chamber. They're gonna be 3 out of the 6 guys. Winner faces Cody or Gunther.
No, but
Um,
the thing is, I'm afraid they're gonna put the YouTuber in the chamber too.
they might put the YouTuber in the chamber too.
God,
So
they don't learn. They just don't learn. It's fine.
yeah, he's gonna do some wacky moves, and then that'll be that. He'll get speared out of his shoes, and it'll be over.
That guy's
So
a PR nightmare waiting to happen. But
well, yeah. All right, what do you think about Jey Uso winning?
like, I mean, it's really cool for him, honestly. Like, if I really wanted Punk to win because I, it, that segment between Cody and Punk was just like that was insane on Raw. It was insane. So I'm just like that has to be the story for Mania. That has to be like, and if if Jey Uso and Gunther 3 is better than the last two, okay, fine. And like, it's good that they're treating Jey Uso with that respect. Like, it's like I think Jey Uso, especially when he's super serious, is amazing. I've always loved Jey Uso. Like all the amazing promos that the Usos have cut over the years, like Jay was like bringing that energy, and Jimmy is amazing too. But like I've always loved Jey Uso, so I'm happy for him. I'm happy he was not the YouTuber. Really happy. And if John Cena had won it, fine, I guess. Like, but I'm glad it was like Jey Uso, if not CM Punk or Braun Breaker or Fatu.
To me, when it comes to the Royal Rumble winner, the one thing that matters is what is the big match? What is the big one? Jey Uso winning, him and Gunther, that's not the big match.
Nah,
It isn't. It just
nah.
isn't. I like them both. They're both incredible, but that is not marquee, right? That's not WrestleMania main event marquee. It isn't. It just
Jey
isn't.
Uso should have won the Chamber. Give him the Chamber, but the Royal
Sure.
Rumble and like Punk, like okay, you remember how when Cody won the Rumble the first time, he failed at Mania, but then he won the Rumble again, and that's how you knew he was gonna win. Punk, his chance dissipated last year at the Rumble. This would have been the perfect comeback.
Yeah,
Like
like what's the story for Punk? He never won a Royal Rumble, never main event WrestleMania. It's easy. Punk, Cody, big. Punk, Gunther, that's big too. Gunther is a rising star. Punk is a superstar. Gives Gunther the rub. Great, but Jey Uso, I no, not now. Like, yeah, the Yeet stuff is great. He's one of the top merch sellers, but he didn't need to win the Rumble. He just didn't.
yeah, I mean, like, and I don't know if you saw Big E cut a very he was very heartfelt about Jey Uso winning. He was very heartfelt about it. And I'm happy for them. I am. But yeah, like the money was Punk and Cody. And that could still happen if Punk wins the Chamber. Or if he cashes in his favor. He still has that favor with Paul, and he can maybe get added to a triple threat. But it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, just if it's a choice between like simplicity, I think they should have gone with the more simple route. Like,
And also like I think Jey Uso's done a great job with his solo run. He's gotten so popular. But if you ask me, the Usos together are much more valuable. That group is way more like they were so special that they main evented WrestleMania. The tag team titles was night one of the main event of the show. Yes, the Usos were part of the bloodline, right? But still,
why does wrestling hate tag teams so much? Like, I don't understand.
I
Like,
think Motor City Machine Guns and Usos would have been a bigger deal.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, because like everyone would say like, because like, okay, like I said Big E's speech about Jey Uso's heartfelt. But one thing about it I didn't agree with is like everyone's saying like, oh, he upgraded from a tag team wrestler. What's wrong with being a tag team wrestler? Especially if you're a fucking amazing tag team. The Briscoes as a tag team were more palpable than a lot of single wrestlers.
Yep.
And you can say the same thing about the Usos. Like I don't know. Cuz like I really want I love Jimmy by himself too, but man, it's like why split up the greatest tag team in wrestling right now?
Yeah, he wasn't like, the Hardy Boys were superstars as a tag team, but like Jeff Hardy by himself was like a monster.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
Right. It was totally an anomaly. But when you look at okay, let's take the Young Bucks for example, right? There's never gonna be a Nick Jackson or Matt Jackson solo run. There
I
will
hate them
never
as a
be.
tag team. Well, I don't know. It's actually I've always liked Nick Jackson more, even though I hate both of them. But I've always liked Nick more.
Right. I just don't see like the money with these guys is as a team, right? Or anyone, any other like the Dudley boys. Bully Ray was a nice idea, but the money is with the Dudleys.
Bully Ray. Man.
I don't know,
Man.
man. Some people are just better off as tag teams. You could main event WrestleMania again with the Usos with the right program together as a tag team. You
There's
could.
nothing wrong with being a tag team.
Yeah, there isn't. Or that being
Ah,
said, Jey Uso, Royal Rumble winner for the men. Who should he face?
I mean, him beating Cody? I mean,
That's not it. That's not the match.
I don't.
That's not it. That's not it, man. Him and Gunther makes sense because of their recent history, but Jey Uso and Cody makes no sense.
That would actually like. I would honestly just want to see people's reaction to that because, like, look, the match will be good and the promos will be fine, but it's like, I mean, I guess he's got to face Gunther, but then again, him beating Gunther. I mean, him beating Gunther makes sense in storyline. It technically makes sense in storyline because, like, he fought him twice, lost, and the third time is a charm, similar to Sammy and Gunther. You know,
Yeah, right.
they
Yeah,
could they could
you can
do
do that.
something like that, but I would rather that than like him beating Cody. It actually doesn't make sense because it's like they didn't really have a problem with each other at all before going into this. So if you look back, it will be like, huh? I mean, maybe that could spark Cody's heel turn because Cody can be like, "You had a tag team guy beat me," and like that would like
Right.
maybe that would be the straw that breaks the camel's back and drives you mad.
Yeah,
That
I
would
don't think
drive
it's the
me
time for
mad.
that though. Yeah.
No,
I don't know,
no, but the thing
man.
is,
I'm
if
not.
if Cody's gonna turn heel, it has to be a result from him feuding with Punk because that's the more palpable storyline.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sound like I love Jey Uso. I really, I truly do.
I just don't think he should have won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, like
I don't think.
he's one half of the greatest tag team on the planet to me
Right.
right now.
Exactly.
Ugh.
All right. Lastly, among the Royal Rumble winners, right? You got Charlotte, you got Jey Uso. Which of their matches is most likely, in your point of view, to close out either night of WrestleMania?
Who like Charlotte or
Yeah, whoever Charlotte picks versus whoever Jay picks, which is most likely to main event either night of WrestleMania?
Charlotte's definitely main eventing one night of WrestleMania. Like without a doubt. Like cuz her and
100%.
no, like objectively speaking, it is cuz her and Ripley like were incredible. The last time they wrestled. Like that
Yep.
was sick. Like and that can maybe lead to Becky coming back and fading and beating Charlotte. So there is a lot of story you can tell with that. I can objectively say that.
Yeah,
Jey
for
Uso.
me, like I think Charlotte right now, like her match is like will be a main event on the card. But since Charlotte has been injured, Jey Uso, he has a huge connection with the fans, and he's a huge merch seller.
A better
Charlotte,
promo than Charlotte. He's a better
yeah,
promo than
yeah,
Charlotte.
right, exactly. Well, the Usos, they have way more experience, but we'll have to see how the crowd reacts to Charlotte and her match. Right, we have to see how that plays out. But if it's me, Charlotte, Rhea Ripley, or even Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton, those are big matches to me.
Yeah, I would feel bad her because she's gonna beat Tiffany. She's gonna win. Like
Even so, to me, it don't matter
it'll
at
be
this
good. It will
point.
still be good.
Either one is something that has as a story, a more interesting story. Like her and Tiffany can be okay. Charlotte's the veteran, Tiffany is the rising star. Right, easy. It's a layup. Her and Rhea rematch from 2 years ago. They're kind of like neck and neck.
Yeah.
So
So
this is their rubber match.
I think the match is Charlotte and Rhea. That's what
Yeah,
I think it is.
I think so.
Like and Charlotte. Wait, you know something? Okay, now we're getting into fantasy booking mode. Imagine Charlotte beats Rhea and brings back the cooler looking world title and like makes the women's title look like that.
Like the original women's title from like 20 years ago.
No, like you know how like the women's world title looks like the men's world title, which is a replica of the original world title.
Yeah,
What if like Charlotte makes the women's world title belt look like that?
but it does.
I mean, like but like the better looking version of it.
Like the original big gold belt.
Yes. but with like a white or pink strap.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? All right. It's the Wrestling Caucus. I'm Peter A.
I'm Smiley Arriaga.
Later days. Nothing else to say.
Keep that in.